Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of End Time Prophecy Insight with your host, TOOTHLESS. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notifications of new videos and updates. Today, I just have a special discussion and special talking point for which we want to discuss the political changes and the shift in politics that is happening all across the world. Well, in 2 months ago, I think, when Donald Trump won the elections in January, I did a video concerning Trump's agenda for the next 4 years, because we knew in America the term runs 4 years uninterrupted. So the next political agenda that is established in the United States will have to come about in 2028, as yet Trump is seeking a third term. But now we have crossed the aisle also to Great Britain, which is the foundation of where America is coming from, because the territories, United States is called New England. What is the old New England? Great Britain. It would be Great Britain. And there was a certain interview which I stumbled across on this podcast that is called Heretics. Very insightful. The host of the podcast was actually chatting with the former Prime Minister for Great Britain, Liz Truss, who came with a radical solutions to Britain's problems. But at the end of the day, she was forced actually to resign for about, after staying in power for about 6 months, for less than 6 months. And this interview has dealt in depth with what she faced at the time when she was the Prime Minister, with the desire to change the nation of Great Britain. Why am I playing this video to you? I believe this is the establishment or the globalist elite that is in control, that is seizing control of our politics. And they're not just physical global elite. I believe they have spiritual forces. They have a place where they would want to destroy the world. The liberals versus the conservatives. And what is playing out all across the world. First, starting from Europe, and then all across the world in Africa, Asia, and wheresoever it is. Please watch.
The country is not on the right trajectory. It's going in completely wrong direction. And yet, what they want to do is try and take apart anybody that tries to fix it. Yeah. So this is why I'm not interested in what they've got to say.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Because I know who they are. And they are part of the problem.
Someone like, there's Starmer, of course, and what do you think about, Peter Hitchens was saying Starmer's actually further left of Corbyn?
I don't think that's true, particularly.
Yeah, Corbyn's pretty
I think Starmer is, he's actually if you look at what Blair tried to do with the Constitution, creation of the Supreme Court, veneration of human rights, Starmer was part of that in the 90s. That he's a kind of continuum of that sort of philosophy.
With less charisma.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
But I think, I don't know if Corbyn's more of a Democrat, but I think, Starmer's a believer in the technocracy. he believes lawyers know best,
Yeah.
technocrats know best, the people don't know best. Whereas I think, funnily enough, I think Corbyn's actually more of a populist.
Yeah. No, I think that sounds about right, actually. Do the royals have any sway? Was Queen Elizabeth II saying anything to you like, look, just make sure to sort out this migrant problem?
Well, they have. I can't go into my final audience, but she was very across every issue facing Britain. It's fair to say, but they are there to have audiences give advice, but I wouldn't overstate it. I mean, this in terms of who runs Britain, it's the unelected bureaucracy that have far more influence.
Yeah, I can imagine that. The moment that you knew you would have to step down, how did that feel for you emotionally as a human?
I was very so I'm somebody who I'm a very positive person, as discussed, and I wanted to get things on the right trajectory. So when I was forced to reverse the policies, which I absolutely hated doing, and I only did it because it was a gun to my head, I was literally threatened.
Literally threatened
with that not with a gun.
Metaphorically with a gun.
It was a metaphor of a gun.
Putting it in the trailer. I was literally threatened with a gun.
I was threatened with a gun. That's it. But the point is, there's a gun put in my head saying, if I didn't reverse these policies, they feared that we would not be able to fund our debt. So we'd have been in an IMF-style 1976 crisis. Now, I believe this was manufactured, i.e. by the sort of the economic establishment, the chattering classes, etc. But nevertheless, I thought it was a genuine threat. And it was at that point when I'd gone into politics, I'd run to be Prime Minister because I wanted to change things. I didn't want to be there as some kind of patsy of the bureaucracy, just spouting out what they told me to say. So by that point, I already felt, I was in a very difficult position. And that's why I had to go.
How does that feel?
Bad. I mean, it felt bad. It was very, yeah. It was very, I think it was upsetting on two levels. One is obviously just losing the job, very upsetting. But also just, I had believed that I could change things within the system that we had. So I'd spent my political career, we wrote a book back in 2012 called Britannia Unchained about what needed to happen to make our country great again. I'd risen up through the ministerial ranks, I'd done the trade deals, so I believed that things could be changed by getting into that job. So I was also, and maybe this is back to your point about being sad, I was sad that that was not possible, and that things that I thought were difficulties that had to be overcome were actually insurmountable blocks that needed to be dynamited.
Was your husband a great strength in that moment for you?
He was, yeah, and he said that this is back when I ran for the leadership. He said, you do realise it's just going to be massively difficult and a massive load of trouble. So he sort of predicted it. I'm on the optimistic side. He's a bit more. Yeah, but
he's more like
if you're not optimistic, you never go for these things.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, so that's it. A leader that has plans, manifesto, campaign promises that he would want to change Britain. They have observed the problem, but you understand now how the bureaucracy is talking about the establishment which you cannot actually name one person. No, you can't name one person. There are policies and things that go against governments. And these are the things that I really wanted each and every one of us to be very well aware, especially as Christians, those that profess to be children of God. These are things that you fight against in government. Policies that just come from nowhere, that go against children of God. Like right now in the UK, it's very common in most municipalities or city councils that you cannot preach the gospel. You can't go and get out there and preach the gospel. You can't do that in the United Kingdom. Well, that's just a wave. That's just a start, I believe. All around the world, there are country-specific policies that are going against children of God. But politicians, when they go there, they become toothless. Yeah. So there's an agenda really that is happening that the world is inching towards. And this is what I wanted us to take a look and understand. So, like what Liz Truss said, the liberals now have become the political establishment. They want to pay reparations to other countries. They are not interested in the citizens' concerns. They are globalists. To that end, I think and believe that these are they in the Bible are described as they who destroy the earth, because they are elements, people who destroy the earth. They want to destroy it, and they like to see people suffer. They like to see the citizens of the country suffer and struggle, and nationalists suffer and struggle. And that's what I wanted us to discuss in this video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed